Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Elsie Godwin, and if this is your first time of stopping by, this is the right time for you to please subscribe to my YouTube channel, click the button below, and also please click the bell button so you get notified each time there is a new content. Thank you.
On this video, we're discussing lifestyle audits in Nigeria. Now, in case you do not know, there is now something called lifestyle audit in Nigeria, and according to the aides of this administration, Loretta Onoche and Tolu Ogunlesi, who I felt like they were pretty excited to put out that tweet, it is now legal to be audited. I mean, for someone to ask you, why are you spending XYZ money, and how much do you make to justify that you can spend XYZ money? I don't know if that makes sense to you, but that is what it is. So according to a tweet put out by Tolu Ogunlesi, the tweet simply reads, Nigerian courts, in brackets up to the Supreme Court, have ruled that it's not a violation of your constitutional rights to be asked by anti-corruption agencies to explain a lifestyle that appears to be beyond your income, aka lifestyle audits. And then a tweet from Loretta simply reads, lifestyle audit is now legal in Nigeria. Those who flaunt lifestyles they cannot afford can now be investigated by any of the graft agencies to produce evidence of the sources of their wealth. You can now be called upon to explain how you acquired certain properties. And then she went ahead to tag ICPC. Okay, so you see, personally, I do not have a problem with this law. I mean, I don't. This is Nigeria, we'll be fine. But at the same time, because this is Nigeria, that is why I have a problem with the law, because we know what happens. We just finished, did I say just? Sorry. We're still battling NSAS and Nigerian police brutality, right? That is still an ongoing situation. Nigerians or young Nigerians are being tortured, being maimed. Now, having to put out this sort of tweets feels like giving them a life ammunition without proper orientation, and this is another thing they can easily stand on to harass young Nigerians. I really hope they're thinking about this as well, because this doesn't sit well with me at all. This is not the proper channel to make this sort of announcement. I do not think the excitement was necessary. I don't know what the aim of putting out that tweet was, but I absolutely do not think it was necessary. But this is where we are, and we have to understand the laws and how it affects us. So to help us understand this law and how it affects you and I as people, how it's going to affect the fake it till you make it gang, also how it will be affecting lifestyle content creators and curators, aka influencers, I'll be joined by Lekan Bamidele. Lekan Bamidele is the managing partner at Lekan Bamidele and CO, and he would help us understand how this law affects you and I.
All right, great. I have Lekan with me, like I said, and I'm thankful that he could make out time from his busy schedule to do this. Kindly help us understand, what does this mean, the lifestyle audit thing? What does it mean?
So the truth is, lifestyle audit is not new. People do it in companies, internally. So it's meant to be like a company procedure. So say, for example, there's a particular employee, that earns 500,000 naira per month, and is always taking, the fanciest trips to Bali, to like various hotspots, locations in the world. They can decide, to audit him just to ensure that, his income and his lifestyle, they are on par, they're on the same level. So what a lifestyle audit literally means, is like a reality check, a comparison check between your life, the kind of life you live, and your expected, annual income, to see if there's a gap or inconsistencies, in the two. Basically, as a step down to detect, if there's corruption or fraud, or embezzlement or money laundering, happening in any organization, ordinarily.
People have started reacting to the law, actually, the lifestyle audit thing, and I get where their concerns are coming from. But let's start from the fear of it being abused. So from Tolu Ogunlesi's tweet, he was saying something that anybody can be questioned. At least he was nice enough to put it in brackets to say by anti-corruption, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But how do you think this law is going to pan out in Nigeria, especially with the fact that we just finished battling something we know as NSAS, and this is basically profiling someone who kind of looks good to say, oh, where do you get this money from? You must be a Yahoo person.
Yeah.
So who has got the authority right now to be able to question an individual?
Well, the truth is, Nigerians and people in it, we always do things in excess, and that's the sad truth. So there is always abuse of power, there's always cross carpeting. So Mr. A wants to do Mr. B's job, in a sense that the Nigerian police, wants to do the job of the EFCC. The EFCC's job is, for economic and financial crimes. Now the Nigerian police, turns themselves to some sort of debt recovery agent, trying to help people recover money or holding Yahoo boys, and the same thing, SARS did. SARS is meant to be, like a special, anti-robbery, squad that's meant to be for kidnapping, and other armed related offenses, but now, they go over, Yahoo boys and things that are not even in their scope of work. So my fear with what, Loretta has done, what Nigerian government, what they've done is they're going to create, a monster that will be bigger than the intentions they have. Me as a young lawyer, I drive a black car that looks luxurious. And chances are, when they see me, if I had red, they'll probably stop me. Oh, why are you driving this kind of car? You're a Yahoo boy. Let us see your account balance. Because they would always overdo it. They will start overstepping boundaries. So let me use the layman's language, over Sabi. When they ask you to watch the gate, you're meant to watch the gate and not start doing the job of the cook. Right, so you're meant to basically protect lives and properties, and then you turn yourself to, a judge, or you turn yourself, to the anti-corruption unit. You start doing people's jobs for them. And the truth is, having this particular, lifestyle auditing become legal just, opens a lot of young Nigerians, to the risk of harassment by Nigerian police force, members of SARS, because now it gives them some sort of, backing to say, okay, you know what, why are you driving this kind of car? I want to see, let me take me to the ATM. Let me see how much you have in your account. Let me, open your banking app. I've heard them, do it to a lot of people, where some policemen just, randomly stop them, tell them to log into like their mobile app, to see how much they have to know if they are, if they are Yahoo boys or not, And this just, also infringes, on the right to privacy of these people, because the chances are, 7 out of 10 young people don't even know what their rights are, and even when they know, they're not able to demand for better because they are under, they have been under the duress of, they have a gun, they can shoot, anything can happen. So I feel,
but
like you
said, you agree that this is the right thing to do, right?
A right step, but execution matters. This should be done, for majorly public office holders. Say for example, there are some senators on Instagram, that they showcase, their Ferraris, like their lifestyle, their luxury compounds. Those are people, that should sort of, checkmate their lifestyle. If your salary per month is XYZ, how come you're able to, afford XYYYYZ sort of, cars? How come you're able to, buy a 2022 Range Rover or G-Wagon, for your dad as a senator, for example, So those are people that they should actually, target, because they have the same thing in Kenya, they have it in South Africa, and it's not opened to literally every person, including youth, it's for like their public office holders, because that way it leads to, accountability, and also, prevents maybe money laundering, corruption or whatever, this is meant to cure.
Okay, so if you're looking about the good side of the law right now, in terms of tax remittance, is it going to help people want to get their books right in case they come after them? And if yes, how would you advise them to go about it?
Well, so I was going to mention, those are like the upsides of this particular lifestyle audit, because for me as a person, I pay my taxes, but also, paying your taxes, does not necessarily mean you are, most Nigerians were not always honest when it comes to paying taxes, because we see it to be a way of enriching the government, so we are able to, some people are, always looking for ways to sort of, maybe, falsify their tax records, reduce their expected income, so that they can pay lesser in taxes, find a way to, either do tax avoidance, or tax, allowances. So now the good thing about this is it helps most people get their books in check, because that if you're able to declare this is, the amount of money that I have, you're able to say, okay, fine, I make this amount of money per year, I pay this amount of taxes per year, and I'm able to afford XYZ, of my lifestyle. Now it helps you, sort of have a defense, towards when the raining day will come. And now the good side for government is, it helps them also detect those that are not paying taxes. Simply because how are you buying a 55 million naira Range Rover or G-Wagon, and you don't pay taxes? It doesn't make, much of sense, So it helps. It's I feel like it also enriches, the government, and it sorts of, helps stir up the need to want to pay taxes to be a means, because now I say, it now becomes double offenses, when you're living a lifestyle that you can't afford, and also you're not paying taxes. So now those are like two different charges, that can be brought against the person, So there it has its, its downside, and it has like, the advantages.
Please, though, wait. So, what if I'm living a lifestyle that I cannot afford, but somebody's affording it on my behalf? What will happen?
They are going to provide person that are affording it for you. It puts an end to the fake it till you make it lifestyle, because randomly you will see young girls, on the gram, taking pictures beside a Bentley, or young guys. If they decide to come for you and you say, oh, you have this Bentley, or this Bentley does not belong to you, so how come it looks like you are rich on Instagram and you're not rich in real life, then it opens you to some scrutiny. Now, for the
So
young girls with big
no,
jobs.
no, no, hold on. Is there a law
Okay.
that says that I cannot fake it till I make it? If you come to me and say, oh, Elsie, I saw that you posted a Benz on the gram, right? Where did you get money to buy a Benz? And I tell you, no, I do not have a Benz. I went to visit a friend and I took a picture with his Benz or her Benz. Am I going to be arrested for that?
No, no. I mean, so ordinarily you shouldn't be, right? But so it depends on. So now equity looks at intent, not form. If you're looking to dissuade or sort of misinform the public, with your lifestyle, they can always come and say, oh, you know what, you seem to be very rich on Instagram, so once you assume that if for you to to have a Bentley on your Instagram profile, look at the case of Hush Puppy, for example. Words on the street, said they were able to trace through his lifestyle on social media, right? So without knowing what his bank account is, I'm sure you can have a rough estimate of with the kind of cars he posts, and with kind of club he goes to hang out with, people around him. He should have XYZ in his account.
Lekan, I get what you're saying. I think that's a different scenario entirely. What I'm painting is one of a typical fake it till you make it, who doesn't really own those things, yeah? And then they kind of have access to it. Maybe I don't know how they got the access, but they do, right? And they're able to take pictures and do things like that. Would they be arrested? I don't think so. I think it's a case of you coming to me to
Yes, I
find
mean
out
they'll
how
just call you, question you, and then you are able to defend. Oh, this does not belong to me. It's for my neighbor. And I'm just trying to do this for the gram. Now it's left to how you're able to defend yourself. Because what they'll do is they'll call you for questioning. Obviously, they'll ask you a couple of questions. If you're able to give maybe reasonable answers, then determines what the next step would be. Now it might not be going to find this. So these are neighbor's cars. Let us now go after your neighbor. So what does your neighbor do? So that means you might be exposing your neighbor who's trying to live a low-key life, to some sort of questioning. So now a neighbor that has been very low-key doesn't have an Instagram account. Now they come for him because you posted a picture, of some cars that belongs to him, and I don't think that is something you want to do as a neighbor to someone who has been nice to let you use his car for the gram.
My next question is going to be about how this is going to affect lifestyle bloggers, lifestyle content creators, and the likes. Yes, I know that some of them can actually afford what they put out online, but some of them just do it because it is the lifestyle they want to create for the kind of brands they want to influence for, right? It doesn't mean that the influencer can actually afford that lifestyle in terms of affording the lifestyle. So what do you think this sort of lifestyle audit would do to that space of lifestyle content creators and influencers?
Well, like the name implies, you're a lifestyle content creator. So they call you to come and, audit the lifestyle you're living. And, chances are a lot of people, that are lifestyle, content creators, they don't even live the actual lifestyle in Nigeria. If we're thinking about it, only a few are able to afford it. While the rest, they go based on, sponsorship by brands, corporate companies, travel agencies, that are looking to, use them to create content, drive awareness to their brands. So if you're living, some sort of lifestyle, that is not on par with your bank account, you're subject to questionings, and if you ask questions, and you can't give, reasonable answers to them, then you might open yourself to some sort of criminal actions, in the court of law. So that just simply puts a caution, to how much of things you need to showcase on the gram. It curtails the need to unnecessarily show off things that people don't need to know. You're buying a Range Rover Velar in 2023, Range Rover in 2021. If you are able to defend that lifestyle, or you're able to put your mouth where your money is different, but if you can't defend it, just tone it down, some notches below to avoid stories that touch you, because when they come knocking on you and you're not able to defend it, that's when the popular saying "Kasala box" is going to happen. So I think that's what I have to say on that.
So I guess this means that everybody can be questioned right now, regardless. Like they can just see you and decide how you making your money.
And anybody can be questioned.
Anybody can. Wow.
Definitely.
You just need to provide the right answer. Like I was bantering with a lady on Twitter today. I said, if you're a guy and you call me to say you want to take me out I'll just bring a
I'm,
form where you sign to say, I'm
you
the one that is taking Elsie to this place and I am paying for it. So please leave
because
her alone.
because those I always like to go and post spaghetti and pasta pictures, of like expensive food. Get ready, Yes, now those are get ready. It show that you are eating at Ocean Basket, 100,000 naira food, and you're paying
Hey,
70,000 naira tax. You must be open to show them like your account, and it also invade people's privacies because now you need to pull out your bank statements. Show, I did a campaign for XYZ company, they paid me this particular amount of money. So it's just, I don't think anyone wants to be in that state of mind because, like I said, this is something that started as an internal way to sort of curtail excesses by employees, by their employers, excesses of employees by the employers, but now it's now coming out of the corporate world, to become a thing that everyone is actually open to that scrutiny for, and I don't think anyone's actually ready for that. So I think it
yeah.
also reduces the tension that people do on the gram, so those want to buy 10
Yeah,
cars
I
in
was
one day
going
to
to
reach
go
their
there.
25th
Like,
birthday.
how is
So
this going to affect that area as well? Is it going to help us tone down peer pressure? Because the truth is, a lot of people are going through peer pressure because of what they see on social
true,
media,
yeah,
albeit real or fake. They see it and they want to make it as well overnight, and
mm-hmm.
they can't explain it. So, do you think this is going to help curtail that as well?
Definitely, it should. If the right, kind of awareness is done for this, lifestyle audit thing, because that's why, we did a post on it on our law firm's page today. Because people don't know, people are not able to follow up on news like this. If it's not entertainment related, they're not able to follow up on it. So there's a need for like a lot of awareness and noise to be made about it to avoid people from becoming scapegoats. And should you become a scapegoat, you know who to call, the law firm to go and reach out to.
You can
So
call Lekan.
no one should arrest you for living your best life. I want to assume.
Hmm.
No one should be arrested, for living like their best lives, provided it's legitimate. The beauty of working is to ensure, that you live a lifestyle that you're very, very pleased with. So it would be unfair if,
Hmm.
I work so hard, and I'm able to, make ends meet, and I can now, showcase the lifestyle I'm living because I might be called in for questioning. So yeah, pretty much.
So before I let you go, in this audit thing, what do you guys call the money that somebody just dashes you? Like, Elsie, you're a fine girl, take. What do you guys call that money? So I will know what to call it. Is it is it
Well,
is it
so
I don't know.
so anytime I send money to someone, I always put a remark,
Okay.
just in
Mhm.
case. Even as a matter of fact, whenever you receive money to your account, you need to be very careful with the kind of money you receive for two reasons.
Okay.
Whoever is sending you money, might be under scrutiny, and they can also call on you. So, say for example, now, EFC is on, someone's case, and then the person has sent you money before, maybe because he liked you and was trying to ask you out. When they, get all of their receipts, they will call you because they will think the person is trying to, siphon or launder money through you. So you need to be very careful with
Mm.
that. And also, too, when you're applying for visas, they always, look through your bank statement. How is this, where did this 1 million naira come from? If there's no remark on it, you feel it might seem very, very sketchy and shady. So I always put a remark in every money I send. Oh, for food stuff, for provision, for services rendered, more, contribute, monthly contribution. So that way, whenever people send you money, you should put the right remarks there, gifts,
Mm.
loan, whatever it is, so that way, you're
Baby
able to
girl.
explain, oh, I got this 500,000 from this guy, as a gift for being a baby girl. I got this money, for being this, for the services
So
rendered,
it's now it's then become his own business to explain how he has
it
500K
exactly,
to give
so
me
it's
for
not
baby
left to
girl,
him.
Abby.
Exactly, it definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Okay.
no one can stop from being a baby girl. A pretty girl like you should be, should be babied. So it is
Lekon,
what
when
it
was the last
is.
time you sent me baby girl money? Are you high?
No, hey, baby girl must be baby by those that are, that she's a baby too. That kind of thing.
Wow. See, public disgrace. But anyway, thank you so much for your time. I think you've been able to help people understand this as well.
Thank you for watching. That was an interesting conversation. At least we get to know how this affects you and I. And basically, from what I'm hearing him say, anybody can be questioned. One, and secondly, the best bet is to just ensure that your books are right, pay your taxes, and also live according to your means. Don't flaunt what you do not own. And if you have to, then ensure that you have the back end to do that. Even if you're going into collaboration with a brand, there has to be a document that shows that this is the situation of things, so you don't get in trouble for just living your best lives. You know, like you said, I mean, if you're working so hard, you have earned the right to be able to flaunt what you've got. So please don't be afraid, just flaunt it, fam. Just flaunt it. This is Nigeria at the end of the day. My name is Elsie Godwin, and like I always say and always plead, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, click the button below, and also click the bell button so you get notified each time there is a new content. Do have a great day.